We're live. I still want it up my nose. I gotta remember. This is difficult.
Oh wait, we're talking about we're talking about depression tonight.
No, honey. What are you?
What?
No, we're talking about negotiations tonight. That is always at the bottom. What are you talking about?
That's not what it says on Facebook, but okay.
Which one? It should say negotiation. I hope I spelled it right.
I'm about to go look.
It's too late now. It doesn't matter. We're here now.
We're here. That's okay. Yeah, we're here anyway.
We're talking about negotiation.
No, I know. I'm just saying I don't see it. So
on
that might
Facebook,
be an old one.
No, JewCee Tells Erotic Chat Facebook page.
Is that an old one though?
No.
It's all good. We here now. How
right.
you doing? Hey.
And you're stuck with us.
Right. So it doesn't. We don't care. We don't.
We don't do what we do.
We don't. No, we don't care about the title. We know. It could say anything. It's much different in running as I have been doing. It could be saying just about anything. I wouldn't put it past me, but I thought I typed negotiation. But who knows? Anyway, might have forgot to change it.
Hey, we good anyway.
So we good. So the topic for tonight, everyone, is negotiation. There we go. And our lead.
And we're off.
Lead tonight will be Miss Siren. So everybody, tell a friend, come on in. If I look a little funny to y'all, that's because I'm trying to get back from Detroit. I'm not back yet, so I'm on the highways and the byways. But I pulled over this time so I could be on here the whole time. So,
and I'm on a mini vacay, so
so we're
we get around.
We're making it happen because we love you. We love you and you over there. Yeah. We love all y'all. So come on in.
Pull up on me.
So yes, I am so excited about tonight, but I know we got some announcements before we get into that.
Yeah. I just have water.
You better only have water. You driving?
That's all I got, guys. I just have water.
I got a drink in this cup. I got my drink in my 2-step. My drink in my 2-step.
That's exactly the song that came to my head when you said that.
Why don't y'all rub it in?
It's usually me with the water, so quit talking shit.
Whatever. Girl, don't get
Good
yourself
evening,
beat up.
everyone.
Don't get yourself beat up just because you on a mini vacay. Don't get you. I can turn this bitch around and read right back in Indianapolis. Okay.
Oh, where my popcorn at?
Right.
You know what?
Don't get yourself beat up. Don't do it.
I'm not.
If somebody else getting beat up other than me this time, I like this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Come on in, everybody. Tell a friend. We're about to get ready to get started and a couple more, few more seconds to get on here.
Where's everybody at? Lorenzo ain't said hi today.
I'm feeling some kind of way that Lorenzo at least is the one.
Give him a moment. He might be running a little behind. You never know.
Need some pearls to clutch.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What's wrong?
I said I need some
No.
pearls of clutch that Lorenzo ain't on here. I don't have no
Oh.
pearls.
You're so petty.
I thought I did. Damn.
What?
Hi, Laura.
Hey, my Laura. See, now I feel better. I feel better. My world is
Feel
better.
better.
Yes, that's my
We got
baby right
people
there.
on. We've got people on, so we want to make sure. Welcome, everybody.
All right. Y'all ready?
Yes, ma'am. Well, we want to welcome everyone to another Sensual Sunday on JewCee Tales Erotic Chat. So happy that you guys could join us tonight. I am your hostess with the mostest, Ms. JewCee, who is traveling. I'm traveling, so it looks a little funny. I know you're seeing my car, you're seeing my head in the car. I'm trying to get back from Detroit. I'm not back home yet, but yeah, I'll be there in about another hour and a half after the show. So be a late night for me, but that's okay because I got to get on here with my girls, my beautiful melanated queens that are waiting anxiously to get on our topic tonight. So just want to introduce my beautiful, vivacious, simply gorgeous and glowing melanated queens. We have all the way in California, Ms. Siren. Yay!
Hi, Lorenzo.
See, that was just for me. That was just for me because it is International Siren Month for me. So yes, I accept all tributes, gifts, and worship. Thank you.
Girl,
All month long.
girl,
Thank
you
you.
don't know. What?
Yes, because I
Whatever.
said so.
I'm a Scorpio. I don't listen to y'all, okay?
And I understand that, but that still doesn't mean that it's not that part.
I love you.
Mwah, I love
And
you.
then we'd like to introduce. Now I don't even know where I am now. Now we'd like to let everybody to talk and say hello to Miss Purple Rain is in the house. Is it
Hi,
is it
everybody.
International Purple Rain moment? I don't know. Is it?
That'll be
No,
November.
you know,
No, that'll
my
be
month is
October
the
for
month of
her.
EEE. I have to share my month with EEE, so it is what it is, and I'm a proud person to do so.
Okay.
It is okay. I am
Okay.
going to share my birthday with the event, and that is completely fine. But I am the spoiled brat or the runt of the litter, whatever you want to call me. So I'm going to pick with y'all. I'm just saying. I'm a baby. I can do that.
Okay, yeah, okay. Sit down until your time. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, no.
Wow.
No, not for real, not for real. I promise, not for real.
Siren is going in timeout in just a moment. Okay, Siren is going in timeout. Yes, there you go. To the corner, young lady, until you can play well with others.
Okay, I'm better now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Did you learn your lesson, young lady?
I did, thank you. I spanked myself.
So you guys, you may hear some stuff in my background. I apologize, but I'm at a gas station, just chilling, and I wanted to take some time off the road anyway to make sure I got on here because we got a hot topic tonight. But of course, we cannot just start the show. We have to talk about October. We have to talk about it. The events of the year for us. We are so excited about the Ebony Erotic Experience, EEE for short. It is the Ebony Erotic Experience, the Second Coming Burlesque Edition. It'll be held October 27th and 28th in Cleveland, Ohio. Make sure you get your tickets out on Eventbrite. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And we have a great lineup for this event, and I want everyone to understand one thing about the event, because I do get a lot of these questions, and we get a lot of questions in the inbox and out in the group and stuff like that. But we want people to understand that this is open to all lifestyles. Okay, it is a lifestyle party, but it is open to all lifestyles, all genres. There's not one particular genre that is going to be more showcased than another. So we do have BDSM in the house. We'll have swingers, poly, vanilla, fetishes. We have classes planned for you guys. The classes, if you haven't seen that list, the classes and seminars that are planned, that alone is the price of admission. Okay, right? That right there. There's about
All facts.
there's about 12 classes and seminars that you guys can freely participate in once you purchase your ticket. Your tickets are $225, and that includes all of your food at the venue and all of your classes and seminars that you would like to take at the venue.
And 2 days of partying.
Yep, 2 days. 2 fun-filled days. So it is a lot, and we will be mentioning more this month. We have a couple of more announcements that we would like to make this month. But just letting you know who's on board for those of you that might have been living under a rock and not paying attention to us. Shame on you. Make sure you're paying attention. So we have Lady V and D Black out of Atlanta joining us. Yes, very excited to have them. For those of you who may not know who they are up and coming. Matter of fact, they had standing room and overflow room only at Exotica in Chicago for their face sitting technique class. So they're going to be in the house for 2 days. 2 days with us. So you definitely, if you want to learn how to face sit,
I'm be front row. Front row.
You want to learn how to be a swinger and be married or be a couple. This is a great couple to talk to about that. They are also I'm an erotic advisor, but they're also sexuality coaches. So this is a great couple to talk to. They've been married for 19 years. And they've been they're in the lifestyle. So they can definitely give you some pointers if you're thinking about some alternative lifestyles. If you're a couple and you want to try something new, you want to figure out how to do it the right way, guys, not just go out here and cheat. That's not the same thing. Okay.
Not at all.
Not even close. So they'll be there. And we also have the Passion Poet coming all the way in from Barbados, Mr. Robert Gibson. If you have not heard this Barbados voice, you might want to fan lower. just right, fan low. So ladies, his poetry is so erotic. It is absolutely wonderful. And you definitely want to hear him recite, as well as he is a Dom. So he will be part of our Dom men's conversation that we're going to have going on, because we want to make sure that we include everybody, every aspect. And if you guys want to learn things and talk about things and understand things, that's what this is about. It's about having fun. Don't worry. We're going to have lots of fun.
Ooh.
And I mean lots of fun. Okay. Not telling too much. Lots of fun. But we also want to make sure we have a little bit of education, portion for all y'all. Okay. And then we have hosting our event all the way from Chicago, Mr. Hood Rays will be in the house. And then we have Hollywood, our female comedian from Indianapolis, Indiana. So those are our hosts and hostess. They'll be running around throughout the whole building. It is 2 floors, guys. 2 floors.
2 of everything. 2 days, 2 floors.
2 hosts.
to host.
But
That's
the
two,
erotic,
two, two.
but the erotic 7 putting it on. There we go.
Lucky number 7. I mean, hey, you got 7 sexy ladies hosting this event, putting it on for you guys.
And you got the
Come
pendulum
and
of two,
see.
two, two.
Right. Come check us out. Like, for real.
You don't want
It's
to
gonna
miss
be a
this. The last
it's gonna
one
be a
was
lot of
a
fun.
blast. You do not want to miss this one. Yeah, do them stretches. Yeah, jaws, legs, and all. I love you, Laura.
Do them job exercises because y'all be acting like y'all scared to give head. I'm just saying, oops, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Mm. Sometimes the truth hurts, but we will. we have a class for that too. So definitely,
We do.
definitely,
We do.
guys, get your tickets because that's the only way you're going to be able to get in. You have to be on the guest list, and the only way you can be on the guest list is to have a ticket. It is not open to the public. It is closed to the public. There is security on site. And the last day for tickets is actually October 13th. You can purchase if you are on your second set of tickets for the 3 payment plan. You should be on second ticket number 2. We should be seeing your money roll in. And we do have a 2 payment plan that's out there now that you can utilize, or you can just pay the full $225. So yeah, make sure that you get your tickets and you're in the house for this event. It's going to be so much fun. We are putting a lot of love and energy into this. So
Get your burlesque costumes. Let's go. I want to see them sexy burlesque stuff. Like, come on, let's go.
Right. Get them. We got get some pasties. If you don't, we'll have some there. You know, and it's as bare as you dare. So you got some boy shorts, some fishnets, some heels, and you want to walk around with no bra on, knock yourself out.
Do it.
Shimmy.
I'm gonna have a corset on, but who knows what else.
I'm still deciding.
It's gonna be fun. It's going to be fellas suspenders. Just something about suspenders. Just
just have some suspenders. Y'all gonna have your gray sweatpants on with some suspenders. I promise. I won't be upset if you did.
Gray sweatpants that don't look right.
I don't care. I just want to see the gray. I just want to see the prints. That's it. Just make it work. Come on, make it work. Y'all know what to do. You know how to G that shit up. Come on, let me see some prints. That's what I want. That's what I'm asking for.
Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, anyway, we hope that you guys will join us for EEE October 27th and 28th in Cleveland, Ohio. Tickets are out on Eventbrite.
I got my room. Get your room.
Get your hotel rooms. Yes, we do have a host hotel in the Holiday Inn. It has totally been remodeled. It's absolutely gorgeous. We have had a tour. It is very, very nice. So definitely get your hotel room. And if you need any of this information, reach out to any of us and we will help you definitely get your tickets. Okay, guys? Okay.
Got you.
Let's get into our topic, ladies. Yay!
Yay! You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You ready? You ready? You ready?
So tonight we are going to turn over the lead to Miss Siren. So without further ado, Miss Siren, take it away.
So tonight's topic is a topic that I saw on TikTok and was very much so intrigued because I'd never really heard about it. And it is called negotiations. And I was like, wait, we kidnapping people? Like, what are we doing? Like, we hold people for ransom or what? I mean, like, what does that mean? And that was from, the vanilla side that was left over from, previously, but whatever. So when I started hearing about it, I heard it from this young woman, queer lady. She's a queer educator. Her stuff is called BD Energy Moves or something like that. But her name is Whitney. And she started speaking about negotiations and what that meant. And she said in regards to spicy time. And I'm like, okay, so where exactly does this negotiation come into? Because I do know that she's in a relationship with her partner. So I'm like, okay, so where does negotiation come in? Me being the person that I am in my marital situation, I don't think I've ever done that, if I'm honest. So when I went to find out exactly what that meant, it meant that before you have spicy time and, you decide you want to, I'm going to call it that because that's what she calls it. And you decide that you
It
want
just popped me up.
you decide that you want to, add some elements to it. Being able to give consent is the thing that came. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Because, of course, again, I'm still kind of getting into all of this. I'm like, oh, wow, this is cool. So with that, I saw a video that showed a negotiation happening. And it was happening over a horse. And I was like, oh, okay. They were standing on each side of the horse. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And one of them said, paddle. And the other girl said, thuddy, not stingy.
Mhm. There's a difference. Yeah.
Big difference.
I know that there's a difference, but it was like the idea that it was that detailed. So can I ask my two sexologists here that I absolutely love and I go to when I have questions, what does this negotiation for spicy time mean to you guys? Or what is your understanding?
Well, for me, it's kind of like it's basically you're talking about your do's and don'ts. You can also take what you discuss and put it in a contract if you're into contracts, depending on the situation or depending on what the preferences are of the parties involved. So you can have something in writing, not just verbal, but it can also be in writing. And then uh, you have some turn right. Oh, sorry, my directions are still on. Uh, and I'm parked. Okay.
You need to turn right, JewCee. You need to turn right.
I know. I need to turn right and then right. So, right. Um, so it's just a question of writing down what your expectations are, what the things that you like and that you don't like. It's also a way of finding out more about your sub and sub or slave, and your sub or slave finding more about you in this lifestyle.
So, Jasmine, what is your?
I'm going to describe
what is yours?
So everything that she just said is absolutely correct, but that is the BDSM side or the kink side. So negotiations, though, can also be the vanilla or relationship side, in a sense where most people have those conversations in the beginning. So when you're dating somebody and you're starting to talk about sex, negotiations can still technically be you talking to that person about what, like Lorenzo said, your hard and soft yeses and nos. So in this relationship, physically, you can have what you like, what you don't like, what you might want to try, what you might not want to try in the course of your relationship or physical relationship with that person. So negotiations as a whole is pushed more towards the BDSM side because it is a key to a session and or a dynamic. But you have to also think about it in relationships or situationships with your physical partner about what you will and will not do in the bedroom.
Okay.
Or the grocery store. Or
or the grocery store.
Oh.
Or the backseat of the car.
Oh.
Or in anywhere we decide to just have what you call it? Spicy time.
Spicy time.
Where we decide to have spicy time at.
And it's about,
because I'm prone to maybe give him head in the car. So
and
Okay,
if
so there are levels to this negotiations.
negotiations is just a term that they use mainly for BDSM, but when you look at it in the spectrum of things, it's a conversation with your partner about what you will and won't do, what you do and do not like. That's basically all it is. It's a conversation. It gets a term in BDSM because there are quote unquote weapons involved, and there has to be consent, and there has to be safe words. I did say weapons. And there has to be consent, and you're dealing with things like floggers and things
knives.
that sting and not thud, and if you're dealing with me, you're dealing with knives and wax and fire. So I need to know what you
Electricity.
like, and I need to know what you feel safe with, and I need to know, because people tend to say words like no when they really mean yes. I need to know what your stop word is. I need to know a word that's not gonna possibly that's gonna alert me that something's wrong.
Mm. Hmm.
So we have to have those conversations.
And okay, so how do you have these kinds of conversations? How do you suggest these kinds of conversations happen? Not just in the moment of, okay, we're about to do what we're going to do, so this is what we're going to do. And do you say yes to this? Do you say no to this? Or what? Like,
Well,
do you understand what
are
I'm
you
asking?
meaning in the are you meaning in BDSM?
Yes. Like if you're, okay, so let's go from a,
Negotiation. The moment you tell me you want to book a session with me, we're having a negotiation.
Yep.
We're having that conversation whether we're face to face or not, and actually we're going to have it again when we're face to face. So for my clients, when they book a session with me, we're going to talk about that in detail, whether it be over the phone or on text. But the moment they get in front of me, we're going to write it all down or have that verbal conversation again, because I don't want there to be a question when I go to work. I don't want to have to stop unless something's bothering me.
okay, so JewCee, for you in your domain sub dynamics or slave dynamics, how does that work?
Pretty much the same way. You have the conversation ahead of time. I mean, I even when I'm trying to decide if I want this slave even in my house, I ask certain questions of that slave. I find out how needy that slave is. Some slaves are very needy, and that might not fit if I already have a very needy slave. So this person may not be a good fit for this house. I can't give them the attention that they need. And it's very important, even as a dominatrix or as a dom, is that you also know what your limitations are, because you don't necessarily accept everyone into your house, because they want to, I want to be flogged, or I want to be spanked, or I want to be choked, or I want my balls stepped on. You don't just necessarily have everyone into your home. With me, there's different slaves that do different things. So, you know, you're if that position in my house is full, you're not going to get in. And I can suggest maybe someone else to you or wish you the best, but it may not be a good fit for my time and for my house. So you have these conversations, and we've talked about the 3 C's. The 3 C's, the clear, concise communication, are the same things that go on within the realm. You have to talk, and you have to communicate, and you have to. And sometimes, I will say this, sometimes it is difficult to get out of your sub or slave exactly what they want, especially if they're new. So you kind of got to lead them a little bit and figure out what it is that they really want from this. because sometimes people are, um, some people think that all BDSM is all it is about beating somebody's ass.
And it's not.
Well, that's what's perpetuated.
Right. So that's what people see.
Clients, my nomination of them is financial. I don't ever physically touch them.
But can I be honest with you? I didn't even know anything about a findom until like 4 years ago. Like, seriously, that was not something, and it's not necessarily something that comes up that often. So when you do think about the lifestyle of BDSM lifestyle, the first thing that you're thinking is, oh my gosh, you're going to beat my ass or whatever. But like, yes, BDSM is about trust, not pain. But the trust part is the part that is not necessarily something that's actually known or even or lack of a better word, normalized.
People see the physical acts or see what they want to see because it is a kink-based dynamic. That's why I hate 50 Shades of Grey. That's why we call it 50 Shades of Fake, because all it focused on was the physical aspects of it. It never really showed the relationship and the communication aspect of it. He was a horrible communicator.
Well, and on top of that, it should have never
taken.
It should have never taken place because there was a contract. He had a contract at the very number one, 50 Shades of Grey. There was a contract. She never signed it. They never really, and that's where your negotiation is, right in there. You're supposed you go back and forth. He's written out and he's told her that I've got this.
The problem with that. The problem is, though, in that situation, she never signed the contract, so nothing should have ever taken place. But because she involved herself in a relationship with him, it changed the dynamic of what they were doing anyway.
But as a dom, he shouldn't have been the
exactly. No, I agree with you completely. But I'm saying, because the story is a love story, it's a horrible love story. But because it's a love story, the things that took place because they fell in love, and it no longer, the relationship, the contract no longer held precedent. It was about their relationship, which is why the movie sucked. But at the end of the day, and you're right, Lorenzo, social media, it's not just social media, because the movie put it into mainstream, being that BDSM is now becoming mainstream. The same with the lifestyle. It's now been watered down, and people who aren't really about this life and that are just curious are jumping on the bandwagon and trying to do things because they think they look fun.
And some of them are dangerous, we might add.
Very.
You can die.
In most states, it's illegal.
If you don't know what the hell you're doing, you can kill somebody. And if you don't know pulse points, if you don't know how to tie a rope, and you put the rope, you can maim somebody, cut off circulation, have them tied too tight, have them tied too long,
lose circulation,
asphyxiation.
Mr. Carradine, David Carradine, great actor back in the day, doing asphyxia, wound up dying. Okay.
And what's illegal in the USA?
BDSM.
Oh, it is?
It's assault. That's why consent is involved.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's also why some folks have contracts.
Yeah.
And this is all part.
I don't look good. I look good in orange, but I don't look good in an orange jumpsuit with numbers on the back.
No, we no. Mm-mm.
That's also why that's also why most of us don't drink and allow people to drink when participating.
Right. You need to be sober.
Safety.
Yes.
Okay, so in essence, what I'm getting is negotiations is in essence a form of consent.
Yes, it's a communication about the consent.
You cannot inflict pain on an individual no matter what you agree to legally in the United States. Really?
I love the way
Lorenzo, we love you.
He puts that so eloquently.
Thank you,
because that's what I was trying to say.
I guess I didn't even think about that. I did not think about that. When it came to consent, I just figured if I consent to it, then it must be okay.
It can be okay.
No, why do you?
Well, wait a minute. It can be okay between the two of you. Let's just say a lot of
Yeah.
people, I'll put it this way. When you step into this realm, a lot of people don't want their business out there. Okay? Especially if they go deep. Let's just say that. Especially if we're adding on some fetishes with this. Let's say we have I can talk a little freely about one of my slaves that I had for many years because he has passed on. He is deceased. But what a lot of people don't talk about in this actually period is we don't talk about the women that molest the boys. We talk a lot about the men that molest the boys, but we don't talk about the women that molest the boys. And we're talking about mothers that molest sons. We're talking about stepmothers that molest stepsons. We're talking about aunties that molest their nephews. We're talking about babysitters that, and I'm telling you all this because I've ran across these people.
Yep.
They do exist. And we don't talk about that but boy, we will talk about a man molesting a boy, but we don't talk about the women that are doing it. And there's a lot of them. And they know this. They know they're not going to get caught.
Yep. Because men are more ashamed to talk about it than women are.
Because you're supposed to be a man, so. But
okay, so
when you talk, so people don't talk a lot about this because there is this negativity that goes with being in this lifestyle. So
okay. Oh. So Lorenzo, you arrested several women that did this.
I'm pretty sure he had in 35 years of law enforcement.
Yeah.
I'm like right now. I really, really wish that you were on here so that you could really tell me one of these stories because I really, really would love to know what that is and what that went like. But I'm going to ask you guys instead, as women who have actually been in these situations, can you give me an example of how one of your negotiations went and what the situation was? Like so for you, Jasmine, because I'm sorry, Purple Rain, because you do sessions and this is what you do. What is when you're in that situation or in a session with one of your clients, what does one of those negotiations kind of look like? How does that start? Like, is it okay, we're going to do this? Or like for people who can't quite grasp what that's supposed to look like or what it could look like, thus may make them scared to not do it?
Well, for me, I'm non-impact.
Okay.
I don't do impact. So anything that inflicts physical pain is not something that I specialize in. So my sessions are more on the realm of massage and therapy, like relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
So my negotiations are basically, do you want a basic massage or do you want to add some sensation? Do you want to add some heat? So there's where the fire comes from, or electricity, or the wax.
I'm sorry.
If you like feathers, if you like stuff like that, different sensations on the body to cause tingling on the body. So my negotiations are about what they want to feel and what they like. Not so much because I don't do pain. I'm not into pain.
Okay, now Miss Domay JewCee.
Yeah, I'm into pain.
I'm just a sucker for pain.
I'm into beat your ass. No, I'm just kidding. So
I'm sorry, I ain't grew up that far yet. I'm still growing up.
Mine is not, we're not going to beat you like 20 miles away or anything along those lines. Mine is more, I would say I'm more degrading. Mine is more verbal abuse that they enjoy. And when I first, I can remember when I first started and after my first session with the gentleman. He goes, I don't think I'm going to be able to, continue this. This is what he told me at the end. And I'm like, okay, why not? And he said, you're too nice.
Well, what was the dynamic of this one?
I was too nice. I was not humiliating him nearly enough. And so he didn't feel like he could continue.
I've ran into that.
Yeah. And
what is the behind that? Because I don't understand.
I can't remember totally what his situation was at the time. But I do, the gentleman I was talking about earlier, our first session was for him okay. It wasn't bad, but his was about cleaning. He was my domestic. So
I need one of those.
Domestically, he would come to my home, clean my home. There's more to it than that, but that's the basics. He would come to my home, clean my home.
Thank you, baby.
And I had to wear a white glove, and I had to inspect everything when he was done. He cleaned better than I could. There was nothing. Okay, couldn't find anything. I had to learn to make it up. I learned to tell him, this is so filthy. I cannot believe this is Jush. This was what turned him on. So, is everybody hearing me? I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Purple Rain. We're hearing everything on your end.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
they can hear you.
Right. Thank you. Deep voice in the background.
Yeah.
So the humiliation, he wanted the humiliation. And long story short is he was humiliated a lot as a youth by his mother. So basically I was the mother figure, and that's what he enjoyed, so to speak. That's what he was used to. And his mother had passed on, and secretly
he needed it.
This is what he needed, right? To feel connected. And so my first time around, he's like, well, could you be a little more, and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, wait a minute. I get it. So I wasn't judgmental. I got it. And from that point forward, he didn't have to worry. Everything was filthy, no matter how shiny it was. I would find a spot. I would take his head and put it on. This is where don't you see the spot? Don't you? What? It in a way for him, I just had to do a terrific acting job. But
I think it's not the hard. It's the hard part about a lot of this being a dominant, because different people's specialties, some of it for us is acting, because a lot of the people that become subs or slaves, it's a therapy for them. So almost like,
right.
So let's use me as an example. A lot of my kinks, because I'm a switch, a lot of my kinks on my sub side are way more intense than my dom side. I'm into knife play. I'm into blood play. Wax, like real intense things, intense impact, stuff like that. But for me, it's because it's because of the trauma that I suffered from rape. So it's how I healed from it. It was taking that control back from a situation that I couldn't control. Because as a sub or a slave, the dom doesn't have the power unless I give them the power. So the power is still mine, because I can take it back at any time.
And a lot of people misunderstand. Some people will tell you that the slave and the sub are not in control of anything. Other people will tell you that they are totally in control of everything. Um, I've heard this argument for years, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in the community.
Yeah.
And I think what some of the people are missing is, are you mutually satisfied? Are you mutually?
It's a mutual
It's
conversation.
a mutual.
Not
It's a mutual. It's a mutual thing. Like, for example, I think I've said this before. I'm not running around stepping on people's throats. That's just not my thing.
yeah, and that's not something I'm willing to do. But there are people out there willing to do that. There are sadists out there that are willing to take it that far with somebody. It's about what both parties are willing to do.
And what they both enjoy, not just
Yeah.
one person. They both enjoy it. They both enjoy the dynamic. And I did enjoy the dynamic of having that
Humiliation.
power of humiliating someone to the point of sometimes he was in tears. I got tipped more when he was in tears, I add. But that is his.
Your pockets was happier when he was in tears.
Right.
Pockets ain't empty, cuz. I'm sorry.
So right. So it depends on the dynamic of who you're with, what you have discussed, and you have these discussions all the time.
Get your friend.
All the time.
Get your friend.
What do you say? Oh,
Get your friend.
I will step on a throat. Oh my God.
Okay.
Get your friend.
Okay.
Go to the corner, Lorenzo. Okay, go ahead.
I'm a little stuck right now because that kind of like threw me completely off.
He was giving all this great information, then he gonna go say, "I'll step on the throat."
Right, because I'm sitting there looking at the whole submitting versus surrendering, and I'm about to ask y'all that question, and I'm like, what? So that's something that, can you guys explain what you guys feel? Purple Rain, can you explain what you feel submitting versus surrendering is? Purple
I've
Rain.
never surrendered.
What does that mean
to me? Surrendering to me is giving the top full control. Like, you've discussed in negotiations what your hard no's are, but you don't know what's going to be done to you. You know they're going to be within your limits, but you really don't know. It's almost like, I'm not even going to say sensory deprivation, because even when I do sensory deprivation, I know what's going to be used. Does that make sense?
Yes.
To me, that's what surrendering is. It's giving full, complete control in the situation to the person that's topping you, with the knowledge that they know what your no's are.
So in essence, does that mean that they're not necessarily asking you in the moment, they're just doing? Or is that
Yes.
the difference between the submission? The submission is, I'm telling you this and you're going to do it because I know you're going to do it, versus I'm not saying anything and I'm just going to do it and I know you're going to like it.
Yeah. Because in submission, at least when I've been in submission or submitting, at least when I've done submission or submitting, if they know it's something that I might like and they do it, they'll ask me, am I okay? Was it okay? Whereas in surrendering, you just going through. And like he said, not people are ever really ready for that. They're because you're taught to be protective of the person that's bottoming for you. So surrender kind of gives you a little bit more control, and you don't. You know what, Lorenzo?
Okay, I had your back for a second there.
But you know what? But wait a minute.
He's honest, though. That's the truth.
That is real. I know.
He is telling the truth, because I just had this conversation just a little while ago.
Shoot, I've gotten a lot of my stuff off Amazon.
But he talking about Amazon Doms, and I understand what you're saying, Lorenzo, and I'm with you like a million
No,
and
I know what he's
10%.
saying. I'm just teasing.
Because and for people that don't know what he's saying is there's a lot of fake ass Doms out here
It
that
is.
don't
They
know what
think
the
because
hell
they have
they're doing.
they
Doms
think that
and
because they
Doms.
have a dominant personality, they can use stuff and beat on people, and that's not what this is.
That's not what it's about.
You cannot
And a
tell
lot
me
of
what to do. Like, you know who said it best? Jill Scott. If
Jill
you can tell
Scott.
me what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me
Can't
what to
tell
do,
me.
you can't tell me
Can't
what to
tell me what to
do.
do.
And most of these Amazon Doms can't tell me what to do.
And a lot of it, for me, what I say is my submission is a gift. If you
It
don't know
is.
how to accept it, if you don't know how to cherish it, don't accept it because you don't
And
know what you're doing with it.
if you don't know how to be, what's the word I'm thinking of? Being a dom or a dominant is about being not so much charismatic. That is not the word I'm looking for.
Confident?
Compassionate. No, it's about being confident, but it's about being compassionate. You have to damn near care about your sub more than you care about yourself. You are caring for somebody because a lot of the things that they're into are triggers for something else.
Patience.
Patient. You
Why
have
over
to
here
be
says
patient.
patience? So, okay, and I think that goes in line with what Lorenzo said. There's a lot of doms that are not necessarily ready for the surrender. And I think they may not necessarily. Okay, you know what? Lorenzo, you got it all correct. It's just these Amazon doms, the ones that are not necessarily ready for the complete surrender and giving that safe space for people
They've not been
people to
trained.
feel.
They've not been trained. They've not been vetted. They've not had conversations with people that have been in the game. They've not. They just somebody told them you know you can do this, and they started giving them the title of daddy or mommy or mistress. Somebody just gave them that title, or they gave themselves that title and decided that that's what they was gonna be because they're a dominant personality, so they must be able to be a dom.
And they have no idea. That's why I feel like EEE is so important. And I know that there are other events out there, guys, and I'm not knocking anybody's event. I think the more events that we can have in safe environments,
The better the community will be.
But here's the thing, we're not doing some of our due diligence as trained Donnies, dominatrix, doms, mistresses, misters, kings. We're not queens. We're not doing our due diligence to make sure that people that step into this lifestyle understand it is not, and I repeat, it is not what you see on porn or what you see in the movies.
Porn is entertainment only.
It's not that. It is not. And when you see the girl getting every orifice filled with a dick, and she's crying, and she's blubbering and her ass is red
and throwing up all over the place.
Right.
That don't sound sexy at all.
But number one, she's paid. But number one, she's paid to do that. Number two, she likes it. This is her thing. This is what she wants. This is, and if I were to tell you, if we do have that coming up at EEE, Miss Siren will be helping you understand how a whole porn scene is done. That scene could have taken 2-3 days to do.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Don't get it twisted.
You're not seeing what you think you're seeing, and then you're trying to go out here and copy it, and you putting people in the hospital and in the grave. And you don't know what you're doing. You have no medical training. You have no you don't even have a pair of scissors to cut somebody out some rope. You don't have nothing.
Yep.
You don't have any tools by the bed to make sure that the person that you're with is safe. You don't have anything. So
I keep a first aid kit with me at all times.
you just there's just so much, and you get into this stuff and you see it and you think, oh, I can go do that. It's just like when we were talking about 50 Shades of Grey. For me, the most irresponsible scene in that whole movie is when she came downstairs or whatever, wherever that red room was, and he started wailing on her. There is
That was
really
a
a
turn
way.
off. That was a hold on, homie. What the fuck?
But what I'm saying is, in reality, let's talk about reality, because somebody's gonna go do that shit. And in reality, she either should have went to the hospital or to the morgue, because she had never had a cat of nine on her little fresh ass white skin before in her life. That
Because
skin
he
should
was
have been
welling
broken.
for real.
And
And
this
this
is
is
the
coming
thing.
from like,
I don't even take impact that hard. He was
So
welling.
he was
at
coming from left field. Okay.
He was pitching back from center field with that. He was
all the way to home plate. Okay.
So at the
home
first
run pitches.
EEE, we had King Noir and Just Setting Jasmine, and they did a example of flogging, and I just so happened to be able to be their model. And I was so happy to do so. But before we even did anything, we literally, yeah, I did, I loved it, and I'm gonna, yes. Anyway, but before we did anything, they literally took me back into their room, and we had a whole conversation. Examples. I even okay, so I'm gonna do this and you tell me how this feels, and now you get to understand. It made me understand the idea of prepping the skin. It gave me the understanding of how you should start, how you should continue into it, how it's supposed to go, where it goes, and then that aftercare. And if I'm honest with you, that was the first time I had actually heard of aftercare.
Yeah, that was a negotiation.
Thank you. Okay, now I understand, because see, I didn't actually understand that to be that.
Yes.
Yep.
That conversation that they had with you from beginning to end about what you like, what type of feeling, what they're going to do, all of that, and the aftercare was all a negotiation. All of that has to be discussed before I ever touch somebody. Or before somebody ever touches me.
Okay, I like that. That was nice. That was very nice. Shoot, King Noir flogged me. Are you serious right now? And then I had Entice. I had Entice right here on my neck. I had Just and Jasmine on the back. Whew, it was just wonderful.
Entice is sweet with that electric flogger. She did me at an event. We did a demo at an event, and she had an electric flogger. Oh my God, she's amazing with that.
Now, EEE was the first time that we actually had experienced the electric flogger through Mischievous Creations from Miss Gina. We love you.
I plan on getting one from her.
She showed us what that thing did, and we was all like, ooh. And then Entice had the honor of doing a video. That shit looks so fucking sexy. Oh my God.
I plan on getting one from Mischievous Creations at EEE.
I do as well. I need that in my life.
I like what Lorenzo just put up, guys. He said at many expos and shows, people grab floggers and strike kidneys. Yes, they do. You have to like I said, people don't understand what they're doing. They just get out here and just do anything. And you're sometimes, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to cause more harm than good by not knowing anatomy, not knowing, like I said, if you tie somebody too tight.
I've taken A&P so many times that it's not even, you have to know the physical body. You have to know the different parts of the body and know what you're touching in order to do it properly.
I've taken it twice.
And the whole thing is this. You don't have to do all that to be in this lifestyle. But because of what people have seen and they think is what it should be, they're out here doing shit that they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Not at all. And not understanding that if I'm not a good flogger, but I can use a crop, which is my tool is a crop.
Yep.
Okay.
You got a pretty one too.
I have a soft tipped crop, and with that, hold on, y'all. Sorry, got a little friend that just jumped in the car with me.
Oh,
Oh
Oh, it's
no.
just a little moth. Just a moth. Just a moth. There we go. He was gonna bug the hell. He was gonna be in the shot. No, so he got the car. But I mean, you don't have to wail on people. There's a lot of different ways and different things, items that you can use once you learn how to use them and learn how to control them. One of my issues with flogging is my friends know, my constituents know, I have a small hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to, with Mischievous Creations, she made me something that I can have more control with. I have a smaller handle, so I have a thuddy flogger now, and I'm still working on my aim before I actually do a whole lot with a whole lot of people. But I am getting very good with it because I can control it, and it's about getting.
Because your hands are so small, and most handles are made for people with bigger hands because they're made for men. It's like sometimes when they make these things, because doms are technically not technically, are usually men. When we think about a dominant, we think about a man, we think about aggression, we think about male energy. So most instruments are made to be held in a bigger hand. I don't have small hands, but I have a smaller hand. So I definitely had to get my things more catered to me and my grip because they're too heavy, they're too long, my hands aren't big enough. I'm 6 feet tall, but I ain't got no the hands of a man that's 6 feet tall. I'm a woman.
And a lot of this is very, like I said, it's very important when you step into this realm to know the tricks of the trade, to know the tools that you're going to use, to know the tools that you're good with. And you
Mhm.
start out, basically, guys, you start out with one tool. Don't try to,
Boy. And
woo!
I didn't even start out with the tool. Like I told you, I didn't even go to impact. I went to sensation first.
Right. You don't even have to start out with, yeah, do. I started out with stingy. That's what I started. I started out with stingy
Yep. I
What
and
started
is
out with
stingy? What is stingy? Please tell me what is stingy.
paddles,
paddles.
paddles. So a thuddy, when you were talking about thuddy is something that just, it doesn't really sting. It's heavier.
So it just
It gives
hits
a
you.
pressure.
Yeah. So it's just like almost like a punch, kind of a thuddier kind of feel. And then a stingy makes the skin stay. You, you're you're
You
still
feel it.
feeling it afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah. But I
So
went because I was good at knife play on myself because I like the sensation of stuff scraping. Like I scratch a lot. I like that feeling. It was easier for me to go into sensation first because I knew how to do I knew how to do those things without causing physical harm.
Mm.
Like because I'm a hairstylist and we've learned things with like facials and stuff like that, using temperatures like wax and fire are things that I'm more comfortable with because I use them in my everyday
The
lifestyle.
heat from the Marcells and all of that good shit. Yeah,
Heat from the
absolutely.
Marcells, the wax from waxing facial hair,
Waxing and yeah.
knowing those temperatures, knowing what people's skins can handle, and knowing how to not cause harm when scraping up against somebody. Those were practices that were easier for me to get mentored in first because I already had firsthand knowledge of them. So it's about
Okay.
knowing yourself too and knowing what you are good at naturally.
So my
and
takeaways from what I'm hearing from both of you as well as Lorenzo and Wyatt over here, thank you all. What I'm getting in essence is you need to really know yourself in order to be able to negotiate, as well as understand. It's know yourself, knowing your limits, knowing your pleasures, knowing your dislikes, as well as feeling that safety within the person that you are negotiating with, depending on what side of the dynamic you're actually, no, actually it doesn't depend on the dynamic of the relationship. It's having trust in both sides. Is that,
Yes.
do I have that
yeah,
kind of correct?
yeah, but and it's not necessarily knowing everything, because like we've always
We
discussed on the
change.
show,
We
we
evolve.
change, we evolve, right?
Okay.
So sometimes, and that's why we say you might have, like, some people have a hard no, okay, but
I do.
let's say 10 years down the line, that hard no has changed to a maybe. Okay, we're up to a maybe now because maybe we've gotten more knowledge. Maybe maybe we're with somebody that has more knowledge on how to do something. And the big one would probably be like anal sex. That might be a hard no. It's a hard no. But then later on down the line, when you learn technique and you learn how to do things and blah blah blah, it might not be a hard no with someone else or with someone with knowledge about how to do it properly. But it just depends.
Purple Rain. Yo,
I'm looking at Lorenzo's comment, and he's
Hey.
absolutely right.
If
What
you're
did he
not one
say?
within
I can't see
yourself,
it.
you have no business attempting to be in charge of another individual mind, body, and soul. I share my brother.
But I take that from the other perspective too. If you're not one with yourself, you shouldn't be submitting to a goddamn person.
You have an absolute point, and I think that's the reason why I said it's actually not necessarily on what, depending on what side you're on. It's both sides. You have to be good within the whole entire dynamic.
Or you have to be willing to learn.
Open.
You have to be open. Exactly. You have to be open. And some folks, especially on the top side, aren't always willing to learn. And they're not willing to bend.
Okay, so do me a favor, really, really quick. Can you define what a bottom and what a top is, please? Because I actually had someone ask that question, and I didn't necessarily know how to answer that question.
I'm gonna let Jasmine.
Purple Rain, can you answer what the difference between a top and a bottom
is?
is?
Dropping this thing. Okay, go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll answer. What did you say, JewCee?
I'm dropping my iPad. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. A top and a bottom are other ways to basically describe a dominant and a submissive, because there are times where you do not necessarily have a dynamic with that person. So I'm not your dominant. You're not my submissive. You're not my slave. We're participating in what is called a scene. So I'm not going to I am a dame, but I'm not going to call myself your dom, and you're not my submissive. You're not submitting to me, but you are allowing me to practice on you, not practice on you, but do things to you, things that you are definitely enjoy kink wise. So it's a scene. It's basically, but like Lorenzo said, a top is a dom and a bottom is a sub, but they're not necessarily in a dynamic together. They're just doing kink things together. There's
okay,
no
so that's what you mean by in a scene. That's what you mean by in a scene. It's not necessarily that we are in this dynamic in our regular life, but in this moment, in this situation here,
right?
That is what that
so
is.
Like
is it the giver and the receiver? The giver versus the receiver, correct?
Correct. So like at EEE, we will have a dungeon, and you will see the dominants being tops. But none of those people that are there that might partake in our services are our submissives. So they're bottoms. And again, you have people like me that are switches. So I might even bottom for somebody. I did an event with Crush, with Mistress Crush, one of the friends of the show.
Yes.
And her and Entice topped me. We did a demo. All three of us.
Oh, I saw that, and that was beautiful too.
Yeah.
Good girl. Yes, good job.
All three of us are tops, and me and Entice. Well, Entice belongs to the House of Zuya, but we are both being mentored by her. So I was able to bottom in that situation.
And it other dynamics might be referred to as dom, sub, or master slave.
Yes.
You were saying, Ms. JewCee?
I was saying, depending on, and we do, and I thank you so much, Purple Rain, for explaining that, because I'm not a term person on this. I believe terminology is important, but when we get to the point where people are looking at me, I find people get confused when I get into it. So they're like, what? Do what? A bottom of what? Where? Okay, so you are, and I'm a switch as well. I'm a submissive. Okay. But when I'm in my dominatrix mode, I only deal with slaves. I do not deal with submissives.
What is the difference?
So for me, I think the best way to describe. Oh, hold on. Now I got a big old beetle in here. Hang on, guys. Where the hell did he come from?
Okay, Bugs, you got to leave Miss JewCee alone. I know she juicy and everything, but you got to leave her alone.
I don't even know where he went. It's a beetle. I don't know where he went. He's in my car. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay, so with that, Purple Rain, can you do me the favor and answer the question of what is the difference between a sub and a slave?
That's one of them terms. Slaves have a lot more they deal with. Let's just put it like that. And again, it just depends on the dynamic of the people you're dealing with. Like,
Why if you're in here? Why not? If you're in here, give me yours too. But I know I know
yeah.
Purple Rain got this. But yes, please, and Lorenzo,
But
you as well.
to me, when you go master slave and versus dom and sub, you're getting into something a lot more deeper. Because yes, they are consenting to be that. You're putting yourself in a whole nother realm because you have less say. Less
Sorry.
say. She's a slave is something that's more of JewCee's thing. Like, I've never really got into master slave, and for me it's a mental thing. But because whenever I have met slaves, I'd be like, that could never be me. Like, you know how people say stuff about doms and submissives, and you got all these vanilla people talking about, that could never be me. That's how I am about master slave. That could never be me. You're not putting me in no cage. You're not putting no leash around me and walking me on all fours. You're not publicly humiliating me. Like, that's the stuff that the people that I know that are slaves, they like. And that's just
okay. So
me.
Lorenzo just said you're into a very authentic, old school, total submissive dynamic as a slave.
Okay, there you go.
So for me, my slaves are totally devoted to me.
Your will and pleasure.
Whatever. They're totally dependent.
Yeah, dependent. See, and that's why I say I can't do that.
They're totally dependent on me as their mistress.
So, Lorenzo, would that be what you meant by the doms are not necessarily prepared for that? You really talk to a true slave these days.
Yeah, true. Okay. Like a slave.
Rarely. Okay.
Yeah. I have for me, my slaves are usually white, older males. And they believe in their thought process that Black women are the queens of the earth.
Now, my subs are too, though.
But mine are, like I said,
I don't have time to control somebody's life like that either.
Yeah, extremely. I would say the best way to put it, the best term that I could use that people would really understand is they are extremely needy. Some of them want to know, they want a schedule for the whole day of what they're supposed to do. Some of them can't go now. Unfortunately I don't have that kind of time anymore, but I used to. Some of them can't go an hour without texting me or calling or having some sort of communication with me. So, I mean, these are, once again, they're things that we've discussed. So if I can't do it, that slave can't be in my house. If I have someone in my house that already fulfills that and I don't have more room for one, I have to go with what I have.
So that's a part of the negotiation / vetting process, correct?
Right. Right.
Okay.
So like right now, my house is empty. My house was full in Indianapolis, but my house is empty here.
That's good.
And I am starting to look, but I can't step to a slave until I have, for me, till I have everything in line that I need to have, which is what I'm working on now. Is making sure that
Gotta
I
have
have
you.
all my
That's why I don't have any subs right now either. Because for me, I have to be completely in order.
right,
'Cause you're pretty much in both situations, they are dependent on you.
right.
You're their protection. They look to you for guidance sometimes on things like, because especially when me, because I don't deal in heavy impact, a lot of mine were financial. They look to me for guidance for managing their finances.
Mm-hmm.
So that
And I
okay.
have
So if you're going to be a, how can I put this? So in essence, if you're going to be a dominant in something, in order to be prepared, as Lorenzo says, you have to, if you're going to be a dominant in this, a certain area, you need to, in essence, be proficient or knowledgeable, confident in that area. Correct?
you need yeah you need to you can't like we said earlier. He probably put it best. 1999 for Amazon Dom. Which these are not people that are truly into this, and they're not. Some people. It's just like it's just like I think I could put it this way, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. So everybody don't get your panties in a bunch. But it's just like doing a lifestyle party, and you go to the lifestyle party, and instead of them providing like I would provide like this great spread of food, they got chips and dip.
But they
Okay,
got
but they're
alcohol
telling
too.
you no, you BYOB. Okay, you BYOB. We got some liters of pop sitting out. We got a little bag of ice. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of like, yeah, you're having a lifestyle party, but you're like the motor eight, not the Hampton. I'm the Hampton Inn, you're the motor eight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that's a good example because remember last year when I ended up having my panic attack about my birthday? We're going to use my birthday as an example. I learned from the school of JewCee. So I'm the embassy suites because she's the embassy. She's actually above that. She's the Alexander when it comes to lifestyle events. But so I'm the embassy suites, and people, because even though I was at having my venue at a private residence, people compared me to other house parties. So they looked at the ticket price for my event as, oh, $50. I'm not paying $50 to go hang out at a house. Honey, you didn't have to bring anything to my event. I provided liquor, I provided food, I provided everything. I'm the embassy suites. All you had to do was pay and come in. We leave the light on for you. No, I'm just playing.
Right.
um,
But
Whereas other house parties, they're saying $10, and yeah, they provide food, but it's chips and dip, or you have people potlucking some of the food in as their form of payment. Everybody's BYOB, bring your own weed, bring your own liquor. Like there's nothing really provided for you outside of chips, dip, maybe some chicken wings. And it's while supplies last. I had some food, we took food home. I had shrimp. I had, because I knew I had people with different things that they couldn't eat. So I provided shrimp cocktails, sandwiches, chips and dip, liquor. I have my own peach sangria that I make. So I made sure there was enough liquor so that nobody really needed to bring liquor unless they wanted to.
so it takes like we're saying, some people play at this and some people are serious about it. And if you're going to get into this lifestyle, you got to ask questions. If you're a sub or a slave and you are doing this for the first couple of times, get yourself a list of questions to ask. Of how long have they been in the lifestyle? What are their specialties find out what people's specialties are. What are, you know, have conversation, because there's, if you don't have trust in any relationship, it doesn't matter if it's this type of relationship or your vanilla relationship or your work relationship. If you don't have trust, you don't have a relationship.
Yep.
It just doesn't work. Period.
I
Point
still do
blank,
my
period.
reading, Lorenzo. I read every day. I study and read every day.
And do your research. Exactly. You do have to research. My first dom, that was one of the first things that I had to do. I mean, we didn't hook up and do anything for 6 months. I had assignments. I felt like I was in school. I had assignments, but I was truly blessed to have a dom that really took an interest in the fact that I didn't know what I was and I needed to learn.
My
And
first dom didn't touch me for a year.
so mine
Lorenzo
was,
just said the person who taught him didn't let him touch a body for 10 years.
yeah,
It's real.
it's very painstakingly, if you're, but you know what, I'm gonna say this for myself, because it was a minute before. I mean, I'm just saying, I know we did our research before my research was steady 6 months, uh, quizzes, the whole 9 yards. Okay, so the thing of it is that when we did meet, I felt prepared, because
Yeah.
I'm an educated woman. I'm an educated woman of color. So it's, you know, we're talking go to college and all that good shit. You got to get this going before you can get anything else. This got to go. So
Your
when
biggest
I
sex
was
organ.
right here, and once he tapped into that, oh yeah, it was smooth sailing after that. I was eager. I wanted to learn more and more and more and more and more. And I wanted to understand more and more and more and more and more. And that's kind of what you have to do when you have these conversations and you find out, you know, what your slave or your sub, what they want, what they like. And that's what it's about. It's about talking and communicating and making sure that you understand what you're stepping into. But you do have to do your research, and some of I still kind of feel a little bit that some of your better doms are kind of underground still.
I can't
They're
find them.
not on the
Girl,
surface.
you ain't ready.
Oh
They're
no,
not
no,
on
I'm
the
not. Whoa, whoa,
surface.
whoa, 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 time out. Whoa, 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 whoa. I never said I was finding them for them to be mine
No,
or
I
me to
know.
be
I'm
theirs.
messing with you. I'm messing with you.
I am still a filmmaker first. I want
So
information.
Girl.
I want knowledge. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
it's
Doing
real
this baby
important.
documentary.
It
I'm
is really
don't
really
play with me.
important that you do your research and that you understand what you're researching. That's another thing too, because there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet and a lot of it's misinformation. So be very 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 careful and very leery. Use a little common sense to go along with some of this, because you're gonna get yourself caught up in some bullshit.
And what Lorenzo just said, the true Doms don't advertise.
Nope.
You just kind of know, especially daddy doms. And it's not even, I mean, because there's different types of doms. There's doms that do impact and all that stuff, but there are doms that are just daddy doms that are guides, because this is a lot of women that are into this because they got daddy issues.
Daddy don't sound like he's 60-year-old.
Mm.
So you have to know who you're approaching. I had to watch how I acted in public because I came across as a brat. So I used to attract a lot of daddy doms. So they were just attracted to my personality and my demeanor. And it wasn't that I was trying to, it's just I am spoiled. I'm the first one to admit it. Hi, my name is Jasmine. I'm very spoiled, but I spoil myself. So I hold myself to a certain standard. And being at different events and being that I've been a host and a teacher in the lifestyle for a while and that I've been in the lifestyle for 18 years, they saw that personality trait in me and they were automatically attracted to me because a lot of them think that they can brat break. it's a weird mental thing. So that's a whole nother issue. But you have to, your personality will draw them. You know how they say you manifest what you want or manifest things into your life? My personality at one point before I healed from a lot of shit attracted broken, dominant men that wanted to be daddies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are
I'm being
attracted to
contact,
brats.
Lorenzo.
And I've known since I was 19 that I was a little. I know what my issues are and why my mental state is where it is. And as I have healed through that, it has shown its way in other ways. But because of that, like he said, daddy doms were attracted to me because I knew who I was, but they were attracted to those personality traits in me. Like even now, if I go to certain events, like I have an event I'm going to in May, and they got a little section. Most BDSM events don't really cater to littles, but this one is. I'm going to go play in the bouncy house and sit with my stuffed animals, like because that's who I am at heart. I am a baby girl. I am a little. Like I want to go play in the bouncy house and act like I'm 5 years old. Sorry, not sorry. It is who I am.
Go with your inner child, baby. Go with that inner child,
Right.
baby.
Give me
Yeah.
my stuffed animals and call it a night.
And I'm hearing you talk. I'm hearing both of you say these things and everything, like in regards to the dynamics. And Miss JewCee, you already know we see you as the goddess. You are the domain extraordinaire. We bow, whatever. Um, but when I'm listening to you, Jasmine, talking about the different dynamics, and I've been reading Lorenzo talk about brats, littles, and kids. That's something else that I've actually been diving more into in my journey of learning these things, which is in essence for me learning me. I was told I am not a submissive.
No.
No.
Okay, we'll talk about this
easy.
off camera.
Well, that was easy. Moving on.
That was a quick
Again,
answer.
Wait a minute. Let me just go with hell no. Okay, there we
Right.
go. Okay, there we go. That was better.
Okay, we'll talk about that off.
Stop
it.
We love you, why?
Hell to the no. Hell to the no. Okay.
Anyway, I guess the reason why I'm asking is because I'm starting to see these like different names and different definitions and things like that. That's the reason why I said yes, I will be in contact with you, Lorenzo. But for you saying that, when I'm thinking about that and the whole self-love thing with all of that combined, goes to your inner child. And what you just said to me was like, oh, she is so right there in control, and she's meshed with that inner child, and she knows who she wants to be and things like that. And that might be another whole topic, Ms. JewCee. So I'm gonna stop on that part. But I would like to have a conversation in regards to what makes a submissive, what makes a slave, what makes a dom, what makes a master, those kinds of things. We can say what they are, but what makes them? Does that make, am I making sense?
Well, I can tell you this as far as this, like I said earlier, I am a switch. A lot of people see now more of my dominatrix side because I let her out to play more. She doesn't usually get to come out. She likes to stay away because she is truly my savior, I guess is the best way to put who she is to me. I think if you stop for a minute and if everybody were to be honest and you think about the movie Sybil, where the young lady, there was a movie and it was she had, I think, 7 or 8, 9, 10 personalities. She had a personality disorder, and all of these personalities stemmed from what the freak? Yeah, another one. I don't even know where the hell they coming from. Big old beetles. So let me move my car.
How do they keep getting in your car?
Do you got windows open?
No, all my windows are closed. I'm in the country. Hang on a second. Let me move.
Girl,
okay, you know what? This is what I feel like we need to do. We need to kind of like wrap this up so she can get home, because I need her to get out of there away from the bugs.
To get home. She's an hour and a half away from home. I need her to get home.
Oh my gosh. And I can't stand bugs. So like
I'm itching for her.
Yo.
We're gonna wait till she get back on here though, but still. It is time to it's 9:30 anyway. We at that time.
We actually do need to kind of wrap this up. I am actually seeing that right now because I still have work to do. Anyway, but in regards to the negotiations of the conversation, negotiations, like I said, what I'm hearing is it is really about consent.
Yes.
It is about knowing yourself. It's about knowing what you like, what you don't like, what you're willing to accept, what you're willing not to accept, what you're willing to try.
Yes.
And it comes down to, okay, I tried this shit and I didn't like it, or I tried this shit and I absolutely fucking love it. But the consent is being able to say, yes, I do like this. The sub-slave dynamic in the negotiations is if, from what I'm, and correct me if I'm wrong, from what you said, Purple Rain, is your submissive is a person who is going to say yes in the moment. Your slave, in essence, is going to say, we had the conversation, whatever you do, I trust that you're going to do what is within the limits that I have set forth.
Yes.
And I'm comfortable with that. So those to me are the highlights of the negotiation conversation that we just had. And those are things that I kind of really wanted to know because, as well as the vanilla side, thank you, Purple Rain, for giving us that one too. Because those of us that were in the vanilla, or those people that are still in the vanilla realm, we think that this is just some other shit. But now I understand how it does go into that dynamic in essence and say, you know what, I like this.
Correct,
I don't like this.
Lorenzo.
I like this. I don't like that.
I
And
won't even
never
negotiate with
negotiate
people
at
that
an
are
event
drinking.
where you have consumed alcohol. Yes, Lorenzo.
I love y'all, but I will probably not be drinking at EEE for that very reason.
Great point.
And here's the thing. There will be liquor. There will be people that want to be spanked. They want to be this, but they will be
Drink
supervised.
responsibly.
Yes.
They will be supervised. Someone will be there. Someone will be able to help them. We're not
We
going to
have
let
security.
people, we do not. Well, we have people that will be able to explain and help and show and teach at the same time. You know, we're not going to have a situation, and I've seen some situations where it gets out of hand, and we're not going to be doing that. And if you know, if you're too intoxicated, that's why we have the day thing going on. The class is all day on Saturday from like 10 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, probably before you all will get to getting inebriated. We would like to hope and pray. So that way you can really enjoy everything that's going on at EEE. But you know, some people feel, gosh, if I have a little sippy poo, I'm going to relax more and I'm going to enjoy it more.
Can be dangerous.
So you have to, we're not going to do a breathalyzer or anything like that at EEE, but understand if you are going to parties and if you're going to events or you're even doing this solo dolo or you're getting into this lifestyle, drugs and alcohol in this lifestyle don't always mix. I'm gonna put it that way. Drugs and alcohol in this lifestyle don't always mix. You and anything that is desensitizing, do not use. Okay, guys? Anything that is desensitizing, do not use because you need to know that something is painful. That's your body telling you something is wrong.
Yep.
And that is my health education side telling you this, not my domain
Health
or anything
moment.
like that. Right. You need to know. I no longer, a lot of people are asking me for the throat spray. A lot of people are asking me for the anal ease. I no longer carry those on my line. I can get some of this stuff, but actually, Doc Johnson stopped making the throat spray, the numbing. You have to understand if your body is telling you pain, there's a reason. So Either slow down, stop,
Let's call some
readjust, whatever the case may be. But yeah, he said you will
You
consent
will
to
consent to everything drunk.
drunk, right, or high, drunk
I'm
or high.
sorry.
I go to
I'm
sleep
not
when I'm
consenting.
high, so fuck that shit. I ain't consenting to nothing.
But some
I'm
people
going
don't.
to
Leave
sleep.
me
Some
the fuck
people,
alone.
we all know somebody that when he's high, he
That's
on
not
20.
sexy.
He
That
on
ain't
35.
sexy.
Fuck that.
He
He
on
on
20.
he
Near
on
100.
50.
150.
0 to
He on
100 in 5 seconds.
So everybody reacts different. So just understand, understand what you're stepping into, guys. I mean, when you get into this lifestyle, know your safe words. Keep it simple. Red, yellow, green. You ain't gotta come up with supercalifragilisticexpialidocious because
Pineapple.
that's too long. Just get to red, green, yellow. You're done. Okay. One syllable. Make sure they understand what it is, but
Not stop.
don't
Not
say
go.
I
right.
know it's
Don't
not a game,
stop.
but that was funny. That was
Don't
funny.
stop. Exactly. And that's why I don't like stop, because people will no. Stop can get confusing. Use red,
Yes.
yellow, green. Use a word that sounds weird as fuck that's gonna make me pay attention. Pineapple's not even one that I like to use. Shit, use tangerine, because I'm gonna really be like, wait a minute, what? Like,
Right.
make me stop. I need something that's gonna a word that's gonna distract me.
Tambourine. What it say?
It
Don't
says
just get a
don't
dime.
just get a dime.
How about
Get to know
No,
one as a
that's like Jesus,
person.
motherfucker.
Know them beyond attraction.
Absolutely.
That's why
Absolutely.
vetting is important.
everything go down at that point?
This whole negotiation process is because of that. You do need to understand and know whom you're dealing with so that you can feel safe to be able to submit and or surrender.
I'll explain later.
And it takes time, guys. It does take time. It may not be the first setting. It may not be the second setting. It may not be the third one. It might take a little bit of time.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
I mean,
It
it
can
just
grow on you.
it can be but once you're with
It can.
it is absolutely wonderful. It is absolutely wonderful.
And Lorenzo says it's even harder with a deaf person to learn safe sounds and movement. This is an all-inclusive show.
Well,
Light.
you guys.
Yeah, light. Because
Yeah.
my cousin was deaf, light and sign language.
Yeah. Well, you guys, it is after 9:30. And
Thank
JewCee,
you.
you need to get back on the highway, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes, and we
ma'am.
need to know that you've gotten home safely.
Can
Thank
you
you
please
very
let me
much.
know you got home safely?
I
Yes.
will. I will. Once
Okay.
again, everybody, get your tickets for the Ebony Erotic Experience. They're out on Eventbrite. Do not wait. Do not hesitate, because once the tickets is gone, they gone. We have the 2 payment plan now. If you are on your second payment for the third,
Hey,
3
Terrence.
payment plan, that's where we are now. Otherwise, the tickets are $225. That includes all your food, fun, classes, 2
Lorenzo, go in the
days,
corner.
and just have a really, really, really good time with us. Make sure you come to Cleveland for this event. Get your hotel. We've already sold 1 block. We got
And
that
all
done
of
in
the
April.
links. All
Follow
of the
all of the
links are
links.
on our pages, you guys. Book those
Right.
rooms, buy those tickets. Don't wait till the last minute, because like she said,
'Cause-
tickets are done October 13th. There will be no tickets sold at the door. If your name is not on that list, you will not get in. I'm sorry.
I'm not. You should have got your damn ticket.
Right. That
What
part.
she said.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry,
No,
not
Sorry,
not
sorry.
at all.
sorry.
All right, you ladies, my beauties. Thank you so much. Great combo. Thank you, Lorenzo. Thank you, Y. Love you all.
Thanks, everybody.
Remember to enjoy, enlighten, and embrace eroticism for my beautiful melanated queens and myself. Have a great week, and we'll see you back here next Sunday, 8 p.m. for our folks on the East Coast, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. for our folks out on the West Coast, and 9 p.m. for our family and friends down in Barbados. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye
Bye.
bye.